Good morning, everyone. Uh, as my custom, I want to be sure that you've practicalized the last video that we dropped on registration script type 4. So today I'm going to be dropping the fifth type, which I believe is more professional than the previous ones that I've dropped. In this particular script, as you can see, it is the combination of many pages. As you can see, step 1, let me quickly put an email. Let me just say shola@gmail.com and put my password. Then let me click on continue. You will see that I'm being loaded to another page to continue my registration. You can see here that it is tag step 2, add personal details. So what I'm just trying to say is that you can combine up to 5 pages, 4 pages, 3 pages, depending on the volume of the data that you want to get from your user. So let's quickly go to the business of the day. Let's teach you how you can easily do this on your own. Now, I've been able to come up with a little write-up that will guide you in the video. As you can see, registration script type 5. Registration type 5 is the combination of many pages of scripts to collect large data from users. This type of registration script is used in visa processing, maybe application for jobs, where the process of registration will be divided into many stages. So let's follow the steps in achieving this. Now, the first thing is prepare each step or stage of the form into specific pages. That is what I just showed you. Let me go back. Going back to the first stage, I know a lot of us will know how to write HTML code. Simply design this and put it in a separate page. I will show you mine. Then by the end of this video, you can also go on our website to look at the backend clearly. Now, looking at the first one is, if you should look at my browser, you will see that it's register.php. That's the name. So that means that it's a separate file entirely. So as you can see, it's just the simple code. You can see step 1, create your account. You can see the input code, the placeholder, email, and the name to collect value from this particular form is EM. Look at the second one, the input code for password and the name for collecting value from this is PS. Then the last one is for confirm password. So as you can see, I've been able to design a simple code for the first page, which I call register.php. So when the continue is being clicked, like the other time, it will take you to another page. Let's see. It's taking me to another page. So if you look at the top, you will see that this is another page entirely. So that means you design this page again on a separate file. So I call this one register_personal.php. So let's see, register_personal.php. As you can see, there is a separate page entirely. Look at it. Step 2, add personal details. So no matter, you can put just 3, 4. Unlike my own, I use up to, like, let me say, username, first name, middle name, last name, gender, next of kin, and date of birth. So you can do it as you like. So now if all this is filled, let me quickly see. Let me put first name to make it fast. The gender, male, Let me just put anything as date of birth. Now, by the time I click on continue, you see that it's loading me again to the third step, step 3, upload passports and add contact information. So here I can choose my file. So let's see the backend again. You can see that it's register underscore contact. Can you see upload passport, add contact information? It is mandatory for all students, blah, blah, blah. So now what this is just saying is that you will split your pages into the numbers of steps. Then the step 2, you write the HTML code of each page depending on how many stages the form is divided into. Now, there's a crucial part after you have created all the pages. Like in this case, I have 3 major steps. That means I will have 3 PHP pages, even though it's HTML code that is inside, but I will, you know now that PHP code will not work if you save it as .html. So that's why I saved it with .php, but they are pretty HTML code, right? So now look at the step 3. It said connect each of the pages to each other by using the action attribute of the form as shown below. Look at it. Form space method equals post action equals page 2.php. Now what this is simply saying is that let's look at the first page. Let's look at the first page so that you get what I'm saying better. My first page here is register. If you go to the continue, this is the first button in the step 1. You see that the action, I put the name of the page 2, but in this case the page 2 is what? Register underscore personal. So that means that by the time I go to register.person underscore personal.page, which is the second page, I will link it to the third one. So let's see, this one is the register. So when you go to the form attributes, you can see the action attribute is also what? Register underscore contact.php. So you need to connect the 3 pages together by using the action attribute that will take it and load it to the next page. But when you get to the last page, as you can see in this case, the last page will be connected according to the write-up. Look at it. It said notes. The final script is not one of the pages. That is not one of the pages that you are using to connote each step. That is, if you divide your form into 3 steps, which means that you will have 3 pages of forms, and the final script will be in another separate page. And the final script is purely PHP code. It is the final script that will collect all the variables in each of the pages. That is, the variable in page 1, all the variable in page 2, and all the variable in page 3 that will now send them to the database. So let's see. Because of time, let me show you the last variable, which is inserts.php. Don't worry about all these this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are things that I've done in the previous video. As you can see that in the line 7, section is being started. Section is being started. And another thing that is very important is this. That's why if you look at the previous, before I finally come back here, if you look at the second page, you will notice that the second page, I will only undo errors at the top of each of these pages. I'm not going to do anything important like than just to undo error. Let me show you how I undo error of page 1. Like now, if you want to undo the error of page 1, you put the code in page 2. You understand? So let's see how the error is being undone. As you can see, what this is saying is, in case it said, if it said variable post em, if empty, that is, if the client did not put his email, I can see that variable post em is the name attributes of the email form. PS is the name attribute of the password. PSC is the name attribute of the what? Of the confirmed password. So in case the client did not put something that has many of the if empty variable underscore posts, what will happen? Can you see the execution sign, that is the opening curly brace, is what? Is to redirect the client back to the first page. Can you see header, location, register.php? Because notice, if you are following that, register.php is the first page, so it will take the client back to the first page. So let's see how the errors in page 3 is being handled also. So that means if you want to handle the error in page 2, you put the code, the error code in what? In page 3. So that means go to the top of the script again. You could see that all the name attribute that is seen here is for page 2. Look at it. In case if the client did not put username, because US is for username, FS is for first name, MD is for middle name, last name. So if the client did not put all these details in the second page, you will see it will still redirect the client back to the second page. And the second page is what? Register underscore personal.php. So that's just pretty what you would do at the top of each of these pages. So let me quickly put it down so that you would note it also. Lastly, on each of the pages, starting from page 2, you will insert the PHP code that will undo error of the previous pages. So that's what I just did. Let me copy one of the code and put it here so that it's going to help you. For example, let's look at this one. Is page 2, so it means that this code, it will undo the error of page 1. Can you see? Very simple. So put it at the top as shown below. So what this is saying is that you will put this PHP code at the top of page 2. So this will undo the error in page 1. So if you want to handle the error in page 2, you put the code in page 3. So then let's finally, as we round up the video, go to the final scripts that I'm actually discussing about. Now, in the final script, which is the inserts, I told you the final script is totally different from the previous pages. It's the one that is going to collect value from every variable. And that's why, let me really tell you the major parts. The section starts. In case you want to learn about sectioning, you can watch a video later or read our articles on that. So now the first thing is, if is set variable underscore post AD. Now, the first thing that is being dealt with here is that the error in the third page is first handled here. So you could see the AD is for address, the city, I think is for city, and the likes, the start and the acts. I will explain that because you notice that there's no name attribute for starts and for acts. Maybe I'll do another video for registration. It's not all forms that are visible. There are some forms that, as a professional, you can hide it in your form, but we'll talk about that later. So now, the next thing is that let us now get the variable for every of the pages. That's why you could see ifs. Can you see final script? For each variable post as variable key in associative array with variable value. I think it would be better you read more about associative array for you to understand this line of code. If you look at the first 4 videos that I dropped, this is the first time I'm actually using this. This one is just like a short form of getting all the values. You understand? All the values in each of the form. Then you use associative array. Then in connecting the key with the value. That's why the most important thing here is now we are trying to submit the data to the database. In what sense? You could see that I've used variable submit, which you are familiar with. MySQL and that's query, variable count, insert into staff. The staff is the table name where we are submitting all the data into. Then something shocking here, that you discover that the name attributes that we use throughout the page 1 to page 3 is what we are using directly as variable. That is the essence of line 27 to 28. So after everything is fine, you can see form submitted successfully. And that's why we recommend that you read better on how to use for each in PHP. So I think by this you will be able to understand this better. But don't worry, we'll drop the code on our website so that you can easily implement it on your own. Thank you.